I struggled for months before being able to effectively bulk up, and I was quite lucky. For some, it takes years to finally break out of the bubble of limiting beliefs and finally achieve the physique that you want. In this video, I'll be breaking down mistakes that skinny guys are making and why they're not being able to bulk up effectively and efficiently. Firstly, you have unrealistic expectations. You think that just overnight you'll suddenly go from skinny to strong, but that's just not the case. It's a long journey, months and years it takes. However, although results aren't instant, you can get them very quickly. If you just follow a lean bulk in a calorie surplus, just eat a bit more than you usually do and train a bit harder, you'll see results within a few weeks. And those results will compound. If you keep this up for 6 months, you'll be unrecognizable. So you just need to stick to the course. Don't give up. Don't give up, don't get demotivated and then fall back into your old habits, because that will just put you back where you are right now, and you don't want to be here, do you? This is why you clicked on this video. It's because you want to change. So ignore all the voices in your head telling you it's time to quit, to change, and just follow my advice and just blindly follow the way. And I assure you that you'll be able to bulk up effectively. Secondly, you're just not eating enough. Most guys that are trying to bulk just aren't eating enough calories. In short, bulking is just eating more, therefore you're gaining weight, right? Obviously we want the majority of that to be muscle, but bulking as a term is simply putting on weight. So all you have to do is just be in a slight calorie surplus, nothing crazy like 1,000 calories over what you're usually eating, but just 300, 400, 500 calories more than what you're used to, which is your maintenance. You can calculate this at a calorie maintenance calculator and then add 300 to 400 calories to that. That's how many calories you need to be eating a day to bulk up and gain weight. Thirdly, you have poor planning. Let me know if you've experienced this. You start the bulk. So what you do is you go and start eating a lot of food. Maybe the first day you eat 3,000 calories. It's hard, but you manage to do it. You get all 3,000 calories down. Maybe you have a big bulking shake, which gives you like 1,000 calories to help you really drink those calories and get it down, which might be great. But then the next day you feel sick and you eat less calories than you were before you're on the bulk. You have like 1,200 calories that day. This inconsistency is causing you to fail on the bulk and not being able to gain weight effectively. The consistency is a lot more important than having those days where you stick to it really well and go above what you set for yourself, and then those days recovering from that where you eat below what you should be doing, which is the problem, and that's what's really affecting your gains. So as I said before, calculate your maintenance, add 300 to 400 calories, that's your number. Hit that every single day. Don't go above and don't go below, and that will ensure that you have the consistency to stay disciplined and to make sure that you stick to this journey and don't give up. And the other most important part of bulking, other than just eating the food, is your training, obviously. So when you're in the gym, there's no good just being there. Maybe the first week when you show up, you'd make gains by just doing anything, basically, because you've never trained before, right? But now that I assume you've been going for a little while, showing up is not enough. You need to be training to failure on every single set, which means that, let's say you're doing bicep curls, every set you have to be hitting failure, which is you can't do a single more rep. This will give you maximum muscle growth and means that you're pushing yourself the hardest that you can. And because you're consuming more calories than you typically were, you're able to have the extra energy and strength to achieve these harder, more intense sets. And it will cause you to make so much better gains, and you'll build a lot more muscle. And you also want to be progressively overloading every single session, which is either you increase the amount of weight you use every session. So let's say this week I curl 10 kilos. Next week, I aim for 12 kilos. So it's basically just a method of every week, every session, just trying to lift a little bit more, whether that's increasing the weight or increasing the amount of reps you do per set. And this will ensure that you keep making steady improvements and you are always challenging yourself and making the maximum amount of gains. And finally, a common thing I see with people trying to bulk is they're afraid of getting fat. And I was like this too. You're used to being skinny, so therefore your mind overinflates what it's like to be fat. Maybe you eat a little bit and you get a bit of a stomach. You're not actually fat. That's a healthy weight you should be at. But your mind has convinced you that that's out of the ordinary and you think that you're fat and then give up and think you need to cut, which is so stupid because you definitely don't need to cut if you're a teenager and starting skinny. So how do you bulk up without gaining fat? Well, if you've seen any previous videos on my channel, you know what I'm about to say. But if you don't, I recommend following a lean bulk. All this is eating 300 or 400 more calories than you're typically used to and focusing on clean, healthy foods. So just adding a bit more chicken, a bit more rice, a bit more ground beef to your diet to get those extra calories and not going to junk food and sugary foods to increase the caloric intake of your diet. So by following a lean bulk, you'll be able to still bulk up and gain weight as you're eating extra calories, but the majority of that will be pure muscle as you're not having much more carbs and fat and sugar, and it's mostly just protein. This way you maximize your gains and your growth. You get bigger, put on size, but you don't have any fat. Obviously, you'll gain a bit, which comes with just eating more food. However, you can easily eliminate that in just a couple weeks later down the line. But I don't want you to think about that at all for now. Right now, I want you to just focus on getting onto a lean bulk. Eat 300 or 400 calories more in your maintenance, which you can calculate, and just stick to it for 6 months and never look back. And in 6 months, then see the results that you've made. I hope this video was helpful. If you learned anything new, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching and have a great day.